This white and yellow with a reddish-brown surface planet has been referred to as the Russian planet by Dmitry Rogozin, the Director General of Russian Space Agency Roscosmos, in an interview with The Times. This planet is no other than Venus. Before we proceed, do me a favor by clicking the subscribe button and the bell icon as well. Thank you. Although Galileo Galilei was the first person to point a telescope at Venus in 1610, the first country to actually land a probe on Venus was the Soviet, and this made it the first spacecraft to reach the surface of another planet. Wow. But this was not the first probe to be launched by the Soviets to explore Venus. It all started with Venera 1, launched on February 12, 1961, but an overheated orientation sensor killed its ability to function well, thereby leading to its loss of contact with the Earth before its closest approach to Venus of 100,000 kilometers. Venera in Russian means Venus. This was the name of a program referred to a series of space probes developed by the Soviet Union between 1961 and 1984 to collect information about the planet Venus. On March 1st, 1966, Venera 2, referred to as its sister craft, arrived Venus but failed shortly before completing its flyby mission due to overheating. It crash-landed on the planet, making it the first space device to reach the surface of another planet. In the same vein, October 18, 1967 was a remarkable year for the probing into Venus, as Venera 4 was launched into the atmosphere of the planet, and it became the first probe to return direct measurement from another planet's atmosphere, where it measured temperature, pressure, density, and performed 11 automatic chemical experiments to analyze the atmosphere, and it uncovered that the atmosphere of Venus planet was 95% carbon dioxide, and in combination with radio occultation data from Mariner 5 probe indicated that the surface pressure were far greater than expected in the range of 75 to 100 atmosphere. In May 1969, these results were verified and refined by Venera 5 and Venera 6, but none of these missions so far reached the surface while still transmitted. Venera 4's battery ran out while still slowly floating through the massive atmosphere, while Venera 5 and 6 all got crushed by high pressure 18 kilometers, which is 69,000 feet above the surface. However, on December 15, 1970, Venera 7 became the first to land successfully on Venus. It remained in contact with the Earth for about 23 minutes, relaying surface temperature of 455 degrees Celsius to 475 degrees Celsius. On July 22, 1972, Venera 8 landed. In addition to the temperature and pressure details, a photometer indicated that the Venus cloud formed a layer ending over 35 kilometers, which is exactly 22 meters above the surface, while the chemical composition of the crust was analyzed by a gamma-ray spectrometer. Venera 9 entered orbit on October 22, 1975, making it the first artificial satellite of Venus. During descent, pressure, temperature, and photometric measurements were made, as well as backscattering and multiple angle scattering measurements of cloud density. It was discovered that the cloud of Venus are formed in 3 distinct layers. Venera 10 arrived and carried out a similar study. That was on October 25. Meanwhile, NASA sent 2 Pioneer spacecraft to Venus in 1978. On November 16, 1978, the large probe was released, while on November 20th, the 3 small probes followed up in the same suit. Although they weren't all expected to survive through the atmosphere, yet one probe operated for 45 minutes after reaching the surface, bringing the Pioneer Venus orbiter to be inserted into an elliptical orbit around Venus. In 1978, Venera 11 and Venera 12 flew across Venus, dropping vehicles. The landers carried color cameras and soil drill and analyzer, which unfortunately malfunctioned. From some measurements made, an unexpected large proportion of chlorine in the cloud in addition to sulfur was discovered. Strong lightning activities was also detected. The first color image of Venus' surface and analyzed X-ray fluorescence of an excavated soil sample was taken in 1982 by Venera 13. The probe operated for a record 127 minutes on the planet's hostile surface. Possible seismic activities in the planet's crust was detected in 1982 by Venera 14. In December 1984, during the apparition of Halley's Comet, the Soviet Union launched the two Vega probes to Venus. Vega 1 and Vega 2 encountered Venus in June 1985, each deploying a lander and an instrumented helium balloon. Wind speed, temperature, pressure, and cloud density were measured. More turbulence and convection activities than expected was discovered, including occasional plunges of 1 to 3 kilometers in downdraft. It was found that the upper two layers of the cloud were sulfuric acid droplets, but the lower layer is probably composed of phosphoric acid solution. Unfortunately, no images were returned from the surface because the landers carried no cameras. They would be the last probes to land on Venus for decades. In October 1983, Venera 15 and Venera 16 entered polar orbit around Venus. The images had a 1 to 2 kilometers resolution comparable to those obtained by the best Earth radars. Venera 15 analyzed and mapped the upper atmosphere with an infrared Fourier spectrometer. From November 11, 1983 to July 10, 1984, both satellites mapped the northern third of the planet with systematic aperture radar. This result provided the first detailed understanding of the surface geology of Venus, including the discovery of unusual massive shield volcanoes such as colonize and arachnoids. Venus had no evidence of plate tectonics unless the northern third of the planet happened to be a single plate. Now we need to know that Venus is a non-survivor land, as it was referred to being a hell-like planet by Dmitry Rogozin himself. But the exploration of Venus has not been abandoned by either Russia or any country interested in space exploration. In fact, Venera D is a new proposed mission to Venus that will include a highly capable orbiter and a lander. From the standpoint of total mass delivered to Venus, the best launch opportunity occurs in 2026 and 2031. One last important thing to do as a science lover is to subscribe and click the bell icon not to miss any of my posts. Thanks for watching.